Hey campers, Georgia and Mary back in the man cave, and I was actually going through my packs when there was a knock at the door, and yep, UPS guy pitched up and brought me a toy. Forgot about the bags, got involved with my new toy. As you know, I like to make walking sticks, and currently I'm working on two. One is a secret, the other one is I'm making what I call my Gentleman George walking stick, which is an English style, old style walking stick that I'm making from scratch. Actually cut the log, trying to keeping it as old school as possible, all hand tools, that sort of thing. I've been working on it. I'll put a link in the description below. Nowhere near close to being finished, just started chopping up the wood and everything. When I went over to a friend's house, Leigh Hunter, and he invited me over. He knew I liked to make walking sticks. So he said to me, I've got some wood. It's a big log. Why don't you come over and let's play a little bit and do some bushcrafty stuff. So went over there and we landed up splitting the log so that I could take some of it home. It is a walnut log. And the thing that really got my attention is two different colors. I wanted to split it and try and make that walking stick two different colors. Well, splitting the log turned out to be a little bit more difficult than we thought, and we needed a bigger mallet. So we landed up making one ourselves, a really big one. Here's a picture of it here. And when I was making that, I wanted to round the handle off a little bit better, and Leigh gave me a tool to use while I did that. And you can see in the video here, it's what I was using. And it was actually the Stanley Spoke Shave. I think it's called a flat base spoke shave. What it allows you to do is trim off very fine slices of the wood, and allows you to really round something off nice and smooth. And I was kind of impressed with it. I thought, this is a great hand tool to have. It's small. It's not exactly lightweight because it is a heavy steel. I thought it would be a nice thing to have in my bushcrafty working toolkit. And it arrived today, and here it is here. And it's the Stanley Spoke Shave. You can see there. I'm thinking Stanley, a good name. So I started to look it up because I had some issues with this product, and I'll get into that with you, but I don't want to waffle a little bit. But when I looked it up, there's two Stanleys. I didn't know this. There's Stanley Outdoors, I suppose they're calling it Stanley Tool, which is Black & Decker / Stanley. I did not know this, and I'm a big Stanley cookware, outdoor cookware fan. Bought it, and then I noticed that the Stanley labels are slightly different. Well, if you look at this one here, on the end, there's that slice through it. See that? I don't know if you can see that. With Black & Decker, or one owns the other anyway. They the same company now, apparently. When I got the product, I opened it up, and you have to actually assemble it. And this is what it looks like assembled. So I went to put it together. So I dumped everything out. It comes unassembled. It's not a big deal to assemble. Here's the handle. And the blade goes on like that. Wrong way around. Oh no, that's the right way. This goes on top. These go on the top here. And then you have these things, which help you adjust the depth of your cut. So it's fairly straightforward. So I started to assemble it, and basically I'm going to show you this just in case you want to get yourself one. You get two of these things, screws into the top here, no problem there. So they screw in just fine. Okay, and these are the guides and the adjustment for the blade. So you can just screw them in. And the first thing I noticed, this guy goes deeper than the other one. So I was like, ooh, Do I force it or do I just leave it? And I have them lined up right now. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put these guys on. Let me show you this. This guy here. See that? It's kind of got a knurled head with a little lip on the bottom here. And how that works is your blade's sitting on the tool, and this lip here sits on the tool there. And as you turn it on those threaded pieces that I just put in, it moves the blade up and down and gives you the depth. And I'll show you that right now. You have this that covers the blade, holds the blade in, and it sits on there. You have to loosen off that screw, obviously, to get it to hold it in. You see where we're going here? And these guys go on top, and they just screw on there like that. It's straightforward. Yeah? So you've got to get the blade onto these pieces here. So I'm going to do that now. And here's where the problem started. I'm going to take this off so that I can show you. This will sit forward. And you can see here, right there, see there? That little lip on this knurled piece here sits in there. And then as you unscrew or screw in, it raises and lowers the blade. Straightforward, great idea, works great. Here's my problem. Look very careful at this compared to that. First thing I noticed, this one's not knurled. Second thing I noticed, right there, see that? There's a little piece of metal here. Not only that, the knurling was hit on the bottom here. It's nowhere else, just that little piece there. I thought, no big deal. We'll just put the blade in. And here you can see it here. They're both in there. That pops on there. Going to screw this down. I'm just doing it by hand. I'm not tightening anything down. But it holds the blade just like that. Now, this here locks it in, tightens the blade, and it will move the blade up and down here. And if you look carefully there, you can see I have the blade sticking out in the front here. That's pretty deep. I wouldn't do it there. I'll make it a lot less. So to make that adjustment of where the blade is sitting, you turn this guy, see? And as I turn it, so it's lifting the blade on this side. Well, I want it level. So when I turn this one, suddenly it gets stuck. That can't be good. I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can get it for you. There you go. Remember that piece of metal there? It doesn't fit through the slot. It jams up on the slot. This is a Stanley tool. It's a big name. I'm shocked how this even got into the packaging. I can't believe they didn't even notice it. I'm going to take it apart and show you the two pieces here side by side. I'm going to show you them right there. See the differences? Almost got the knurling on there, but they got more of it on the bottom here. If I turn it around, you can see no knurling or anything on the other one. And you have this clump of metal or whatever you want to call it on the top there, right there, which stops me from turning it. Quality control. Zero. Most people would say, no big deal, send it back. Contact whoever you got it from and send it back. Now, I got this on Amazon from the Stanley store on Amazon. 3 things I hate. All 3 of them is returning a product to be replaced. I want this product. It's what I need. The problem is now I've got to ship it back because of this little guy, their quality control. Now I'm going to be out of this for another week. I want to get on with what I'm doing. The reason I shop on Amazon is I can get things at a reasonable price, quickly and reliably. But then this happens. Now I've got to package this back up, get hold of them, have them send me another one, and get this to a local UPS store or whatever that handles Amazon returns. You know, if it was a couple of $100 worth of stuff, I would probably do that. This is not. It's not an expensive tool. That's my gripe. I'm really disappointed in Stanley and this happening. I'm going to keep this and I'm going to fix it myself. Do I care about the knurling on the top here? Not really. I can still adjust. It's not fine. What I'm going to have to do is file this off, this piece off here, and I'm sure it'll work fine. So I'm going to do that, put it all together, and hopefully I'll have a working tool. Like I said, the other thing was the depth of the threaded hole where these thread into was different on both of them. And everything else about the product is fine. Heavy, sturdy, and works, I hope. Well, I'm about to find out. But like I said, now I have to go out of my way and fix this little thing. Even if they said to me, we'll send you another one, I really don't care. I'm disappointed right now. I'm just going to fix this myself and put it together. And hopefully I can finish my big stick. Wanted to share that with you. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big Stanley fan, both in the Stanley outdoor and in their tools. I used them at work many times. I had no problems with them. This is very frustrating. And it makes me wonder about the quality. I understand businesses having to do their work outside of the country to save money and be competitive. But it shouldn't be at the cost of quality. Very disappointing. So I'm going to fix it, and I'll show you the fix, and then I'll put the whole tool together, and we'll give it a test run. Stay tuned. And while I'm on a roll, when you look at this, they put a sticker on you with the Stanley label on. It's not even straight. Frustrating. Or is it just me? What can I say? I'm a grumpy old guy. Okay, so I'm back again. I did a bit of work on that little knurl thing, kinda. Here it is here. And remember, it had that nasty lump on it here. So I filed that off, so it's nice and round now. It doesn't have any knurling on it. I don't think that's an issue, simply because the knurling is really just a grip thing, and doesn't require you to have abnormal strength or anything to tighten it down. You just want it at least a tight finger tight. We're all good to go, so I'm just going to put it back together again, hopefully get it set right, and we'll dash out into the steaming hot South 40, grab a piece of wood, and let's carve it up. Well, let's shave it up, hopefully. So let me do that quickly. You're going to put your blade in, and they do give you the sharpening instructions for this, the angles that you should use, which is a good thing. It's actually on the back of the packaging. We're going to put that in, just like that, and we're going to line it up on those things. And now you can see how that lines up. And you can see here how these fit in the slots. And then obviously, as you turn these, it lifts and raises and lowers the blade position. And we'll do that once we have it all in. This simply goes on there and slides down, and you're just going to tighten this down, and then you tighten this screw down, which pushes the top of this out and pushes against the blade here to keep it nice and firm. So you can tighten that down. You can see the blade sticking out the bottom here. Now, that's pretty deep. I don't want it that deep, so I need to just raise the blade up. So I'm going to loosen this off and just loosen that off and back these out. And let's try and get it nice and even. We have less of the blade sticking out the bottom here. And hopefully that's a good length to have it in. So I'm going to be scraping, pushing or pulling it. Now, one thing about these things is they do say they only work when you use them with the grain on the wood. So you don't want to go, if the grain is this way on the wood, you don't use it this way. You follow the wood either with it or away from it. Hopefully we're all set up now. Let's dash up the steaming hot South 40, but I'm willing to make that sacrifice to satisfy your curiosity. Okay, so here we are outside, Mary and I. She hasn't been out in a while and she's checking everything out. So I have it with me. I haven't really tightened anything down, but we have a setting here. And here is the stick, the walking stick I've been working on. I'm calling it right now the Gentleman George. You may have seen my previous video on that. And it's the main reason that I got this was I think I'm going to need it to smooth out, to really get it reasonably round. I doubt if I'll be able to do it with a knife or anything like that. So we're going to use this and see what damage we can do. Once again, you're going to do it with the grain, and obviously my grain is down, follows the piece of wood down, so we're going to do it that way. Okay, that tells me I am too deep. Okay, so I've kind of got a setting. It's still jumping a little bit, but I'm going to see if I can smooth it out. It might be because the wood wasn't really that smooth. It is a hardwood, so let me see what I can do with it here. Let's try it out. So it is shaving. You can see the shavings coming off. So there you go. You can see the shavings on there, and they are really thin if you look. Don't know if you can see that, but I'm going to get a screwdriver now, a real one, not my finger, tighten these down and see if it makes a difference. Okay, so I tightened both screws down. This one not so much, but certainly this one here, the little one underneath that holds the plate. Let's have a look at this piece of wood right now. If you look along here, you can see where I was chopping it up, but this now is already, just with me slicing it, is really smooth. I'm liking that, and that's why I wanted to get this, because I need the stick to be nice and smooth. Look at that. See if I can get it so we can get a picture of it showing the difference. Now obviously it's really a finishing tool for me. This is going to clean up the last couple of inches on the stick, so I want to check the other. I turned it around because I was using my chest to brace the wood, and this point was really digging in, so I'm going to try it again. You can see how rough this is here, hopefully, and I'm going to start on that edge and just start trimming it down and see if we can just do a quick rounding off here. And you can see already how you can see that's the grain, shows the grain going that way. Now once I get down past these dips and scratches and everything, it'll really smooth it out, so I'm going to do that quickly. Well, try. And it's really killing my chest. I need something for, I know what I can use. Isn't that what a hat's for? There we go. Once you get going, you don't even have to put that much pressure on it. It does it itself. It cuts into it nicely. And now you can see we passed all these. This nastiness here is gone, and now we have a really nice smooth piece of wood. This is working way better than I thought it would. I'm liking that. Of course, here you can see the difference in the color of the wood. I need to really jam it into the ground to hold it. I need some sort of vise or something to hold it so that I can work on it. It'd have to be a big vise though. Oh, speaking of vices, I'll put my hat on for this. Mary has seen a bird. Back to speaking of vices. I've been looking online for a vise for my workbench in the shed where I made that workbench out of pallet wood. I'll put a link below if you want to go to that movie and have a look, see how I put that bench together. The main reason I wanted a vise was to hold a knife in it if I need to sharpen it, an axe or something like that. The main reason that got me thinking about it was sharpening the blades on the South 40 lawn racer. I tried to do it before and holding it and finding some way to hold it down. I didn't have a vise. So I wanted a reasonably small one, not too small, not too big, a kind of a medium-sized one. And I was looking and I found one online. And I was talking to my friend Travis, long-time buddy, best friend, confidant. Was helping him clean out the garage, and we were discussing vices, and I was telling him I'm looking for a vise, and he said, wait a minute, I have a really old one you might like. Here it is, right here. It is a thing of beauty. It still works. Everything works on it. It's just really rusty, but the cool thing about this is it gives me a nice little restoration project. This is a Colombian, you can see it there, and it is the D33.5. But I looked it up online. They don't make these anymore. It is considered an antique, which is pretty cool. No, it's of no great value. I looked at that online, and you can get them restored ones or just ones in really working condition but not really well looked after. Anything from 20 to 60 bucks. This is a great project for me, and when I'm done with it, I can put it on my workbench. Sneak peek. Guess what's coming up next? Back to the wood. And I'm really liking this. I'm getting pretty excited about the whole idea of this thing. I'm going to be able to get really nice and shaved, really nice and smooth, down to what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for my typical as is rough big stick. This is, like I said, a gentleman's walking stick based on the English style hunting, walking, trudging stick. I really wanted that split color in the wood, and that was the main thing about it. So there you go. Update to the Gentleman George and a sneak peek. At first disappointing, Stanley Spoke Shave. And this is the number 151, and you can see it down there on the back there. Has the Stanley sticker in it. There's nothing in here stamped that says Stanley on the handle. On the blade, it does say Stanley over there. And like I said, initially I was disappointed with this, but it wasn't really a big deal. It was a quick fix for me. It doesn't have the knurl on it. Like I said, that's not important. You don't really need a lot of grip or anything to turn it. It's just nice to have the knurl. It gives a little bit more grip, but it's working fine, and I'm really liking the results. So this will certainly be going into my woodworking kit that is slowly growing. I'm not one of those that's going to get a big lathe or anything like that. Nope. For me, it's all about hand tools and doing it more in the old style, back in the day when there wasn't all those fancy lathes and things like that. I like doing this. It's although time consuming, for me it's a relaxing time for me. So, and that's important. That's why I do this stuff. Stanley Spoke Shave. And this is how much it cost me. And with that in mind, don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be back working on the Gentleman George, and certainly getting this fixed up. Looking forward to this. Got to get rid of the rust and clean it all up and paint and touch it up and make it look all fancy. Just like new. Hopefully. Just saying. Thanks for watching. Be safe out there.